So, I don't know how hearable I'm gonna be because, like, I'm walking right now, but I'm trying to figure out, like, a good spot to even record this because I don't really like the spot that I'm at right now. But to start off, which hopefully this won't be long, this is just like a little summary about my Young Achiever / Money Matrix playlist and a couple other playlists and just what I've been talking about, especially lately, from the Street Kids Aren't Seen as Kids to the Marine Kingdom Agent Chomo thing and my run-ins with those types on a daily basis. Even before I was out here, like, I could definitely say that the Jim Crow self-confined placement staff, the one male staff, he was definitely pretty sexual harassment, especially because he would pull my hair and call me beautiful. And honestly, crap, I haven't even had anybody do anything like that to me since out here. But stuff like that, I think maybe I'm in a good spot right now. Kind of. Can't even really see. But pretty much it just goes back to that thing that I said, that I told a lady at 16 during the whole first escape attempt fiasco and all that stuff that went along with that. I told her that that my life was already over, and she was like, well, you're still so young. But it's like, some people say that I'm young and other people say that I'm grown, and I've been grown, like I was always told by my abusers. And of course, like with the street kid thing, especially depending on what demographic you're in, and with the sexual predators as well, no matter how old you are, once you become a street kid, you're no longer somebody's kid, you're now a grown man or woman, which isn't even really mainly for like the sexual predators. That's mainly a narrative that's pushed by the people who, like, it makes them feel less bad when they ignore you or when they call the cops on you and treat you like crap for being a quote-unquote bum if they tell themselves that you're a grown man or a grown woman, which I personally couldn't care for somebody being nice to me because I'm younger either, because that's also fake. I don't like the narrative that, like, certain people should be treated niceness, other people shouldn't, and all those things that go along with it. And so, anyways, I'm trying to think about what else I was going to say with that. I mean, pretty much it's like, yeah, things can go good now, and like things can go good in the future and all that stuff that goes along with that. But realistically, for me and other people who are in the types of situations that I'm in right now and other situations I've been in, our lives have been ruined. People can say whatever they want to say. They can say the whole pull yourself up from your bootstraps and all that stuff that goes along with that, and the similar little insults or whatever in the world you call that. But this is a reality. And I'm not saying that it has to be the end all be all, obviously. Like, depending on your situation, then yeah, maybe. Like, unless, because for one, I already escaped I escaped my previous situation, but I mean, I still am, like, pretty much still a victim, or, well, I won't say victim, but I still am in the human cash cow systems pretty much. I haven't completely escaped that, because to escape that, I have to completely get out of all the situations that I don't know, I guess I could say the staff of these systems will want me to end up in. I don't know if this is coming out right, but like I'm still a statistic right now. To really beat the system, you have to get out of their statistics and get out of their little traps and different stuff like that. Like the human cash cow systems, Ramco, their goal is for you to end up homeless, insane, dead, locked up for the rest of your life, as I always talk about. So I still do have a little ways to go, but I mean, I can't keep lying to myself. My life was ruined. Other people who I know, their life was ruined or really is being ruined, I guess I could say. I don't believe in the whole childhood, adulthood thing, or child or adult or parent or any of that stuff. All that stuff is social constructs that really don't exist, which I'm not going to get into that again. But as I always say, everybody's just at different ages doing what they were told they have to do to survive, and being what they were told they have to be to survive, and not get pushed out of society, if you ever even were in society in the first place, really. Which most people I know and have known that are in these types of situations really kind of never were. But that's another topic. But it's like, I've been having my midlife crisis for a couple years, which definitely got worse since escaping my previous situation, because it's like, now it's kind of like, now that I'm not constantly fighting for my life and other people's life and trying to survive, now I want to do the usual quote-unquote kid things, I guess, at least depending on the bias that revolves around that label, because you're really only a kid if you have parents, especially parents that are visibly with you, that you, like, literally live with. Apparently. So anywho, like, now I want to do the stereotypical, like, I don't know, skate park. Not anything crazy. I've never really been into, like, the crowd stuff and all the weird stuff. Some of that stuff, like, with the substance use, the heavy substance use and, like, the parties, that's not really something that was a part of the demographic I'm in or was in my whole life anyway. So not like that type of stuff, not like, I don't know, the movie Kids or 13, which, I mean, well, 13 is mainly about trauma symptoms. Not that Kids isn't, but Kids also has like some demographic type stuff to it. Although funny enough, it's about kids that I think were in New York, not Cali or the West Coast, but it definitely gave some like West Coast vibes. But like, in fact, I even remember somebody asked me what would be like the East Coast equivalent of California, and they said they think it would be Florida, and I'm like, not Florida. I would say Georgia or maybe New York, or Atlanta or maybe New York, but Florida, I don't know though, because I've never been to Florida still. That's one of the two states I haven't been to, if I'm remembering right. But that's not even the point, because I'm going off somewhere else. The point is, my life was definitely ruined to a certain degree. Most people go through the type of stuff anyways, or are going through this type of stuff, so it's not like I'm the only one, but it definitely is something to think about. And it's unfortunate because, as I always say, I already know that I wouldn't get along with people my age for many reasons, and I'd just be getting bullied, but I still do wish I could be around people my age and not the 40 plus year old preds that I'm typically around. That's the only thing with that. And then it's like, I don't know, if you like want to do certain things, you're gonna get called childish. If you're like over, if you're 10 or older, and like you still want people to play video games, so you were like go outside with you and stuff like that, then you're considered childish. But it's kind of like whatever though. None of it really makes sense to me. But it's still just kind of unfortunate just thinking about all of it. And it's really hard to handle. And there's no escape really. I mean, I guess I could pretend that there is, but there really isn't. So I've been in my midlife crisis for about, I don't know how many years it's been. But I know, like, it's been getting worse the past, maybe, like, year or two. I guess it's been 2 years since it's gotten worse. But the past few months especially. And it's kind of scary that there's no escape. And I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, and then I also talk about in my Young Achiever videos how, like, I just wanted to achieve a lot of things before double digits. I wanted to, like, graduate school early and go to college early. Like, I wanted to at least do that by 12. I was supposed to skip grades, a lot of stuff. Not that stuff really matters, because as I've always known, that's all, like, programming and brainwashing with the school stuff. But it's like, I still wanted to do it. Because, one, I really could have. If it wouldn't have been for the situation I was in, I could have done it. I was actually supposed to have done it, but I was sabotaged so much by my abusers, and so much stuff started happening with the Cash for Kids system abuse and Ramco and all that, to where like I just wasn't in school. Dang, that's a big cat, or is that a dog? What in the world? I'm getting sidetracked. Wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, that was it. And it's like I know that like I've been hidden for a reason, I guess I could say, but it's kind of like as you get older, like being able, well, I mean, a lot of people in America really are illiterate, but like being able to like read really well, like for example, when I was 4 and stuff, just like being able to read well and all those things, it's kind of like it doesn't really matter after a while. It's kind of like going through GATE, and then like once you get out of the GATE, SRA, Ramco systems, which are part of the Cash for Kids system, and also funnel you into other human cash cow branches, and maybe even higher level SRA. When you graduate and you're no longer the gifted kid or whatever, so like now you don't have an identity. Not that was, I mean, I wasn't some of that stuff, but I haven't been to middle or high school, so that's kind of, there's also that. But I know sometimes, like, depending on the demographic you live in and like the red line and stuff, once you get out of like elementary, there is no GATE anymore anyways, but that depends. But I still supposed to skip grades, and I just really wanted to like do a lot of things, and now it's kind of like it's too late, it'll never happen. I wish I could like go to high school, but it's never gonna happen. Even though I just get bullied and it'd be horrifying, and I'm honestly way too chronically ill for that now, since 12, but more so 14, when I got more sick. So it wouldn't work out for a lot of reasons, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, like it's really hard to get past, and I've been thinking about that more and more, because it's like now, since escaping my previous situation, I've just had time to just be at peace and really think about things that, I mean, I definitely thought about them then, even during the abuse evidence channels I would talk about this stuff, but it's like now I really have time to be at peace and not be in constant fight or flight. And I don't want to think about these things, to be honest. I don't want to think about how my life was and is being ruined. I don't want to think about any of that. I'm not gonna lie. And then just like the process of getting older, and how like even that's pretty scary, and it's kind of like, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it's just a lot of stuff with that, and it's kind of like, crap, even as childish as it's always gonna sound, because of course, as I already said, if you're 10 or older and you're talking like this, you're always going to be told that you sound childish and all that type of stuff. But it's like one thing that I really do want, as embarrassing as it is to admit, is for like, maybe not even a boyfriend, but like anybody who like just wants to like play Minecraft. Not that I have a game system or I even have anywhere to put a game system, but to play Minecraft or like go camping with me, or play in the woods with me, even though I know play is like the worst term possible to use ever, but I guess I could say maybe like mingle, but I don't really know if I like the sound of that too much. And so there's that. A conglomeration of screenshots and my different videos and playlists, even ones that are unrelated to the topic. But like especially with my with my Young Achiever Money Matrix playlist, that first screenshot, or this first screenshot in this video, it really makes me think about all this. And even the video that I made that's unlisted, but I put it in the description, well, crap, I'm putting this on TikTok, not YouTube. I put it in the description of my most recent video, which is probably going to be a part 1, but as of right now, it doesn't have like part in it. But the title is Why Turning Red is My Favorite Movie, which is pretty much just because it goes over the life that I'm not living and haven't lived. Which, of course, in my demographic, I mean, a lot of those things would never apply to me anyways, but just like, I don't know what to say about that. It's like I want to cry, but I want to escape, but I want to run, but I can't run from the reality. I can't run from aging. And it's not like I'm like I'm one of those people that, well, how do I put it? Like I always say, and I've always said since I was 6, I don't want to be younger, and I'm not scared to like be old either, but I never wanted to live long. Like I'm not one of those people that wants to like, I'm scared to get older because like I want to like live forever. None of that. Definitely not. I don't even want to live till 40, to be honest. I don't even 30. I really don't. But crap, not even 20. And it's like, but it's not that, but it's just like, it's just certain things that like I'm not gonna get to do. And then it's like, I've never been around people my age till this day, and it's like even now, like when you're a street kid, it's even harder to like find people your age. Even if you're not, if you live with parents but you're not in school or something, it's really hard to like know where to go to find people your age when you're already isolated and you've been isolated your whole life. And then it's like when you're a street kid, people don't want you around their kids, and then it's like, then you're not seen as a kid either, so it's like, then people act like you're like weird, and you're like the people you're around could be older than you, but if you're a street kid and you're like homeless and you don't have parents, then you're seen as like a bad influence or like dangerous or risk or something, and people are like, well, where your parents are and where did you come from, and they'll try to act like you're way older than you actually are, and like you're like, I don't know, like a creeper, pretty much like a pet or something. And people just, it's a lot of weird stuff with that, which even goes into what I like to call the Geronophile complex. But it's like, I'm not even like dating people either, so it's not even that, it's just weird stuff. But in the end, like, it's hard to even like find people, like, I don't know how else to put it, but people want you to pretend that your life hasn't been ruined when it has. It makes me think about that Patrick Tian post where he was like, many people, it was something like this, many people in abuse situations were already aware that they were losing their childhood. Now, I don't believe in the whole childhood bullcrap. Oh, that's bullcrap. I don't even believe in the adulthood thing, as I've already said, but I do believe in the fact that there's definitely certain things that people want to accomplish or get to do that they never get to do, and then like after a certain point, or once you become like sick, or you become, I don't know, you start losing your mind or becoming physically ill or whatever, you can't do it anymore, and then it's something you'll never get to do, and it's kind of like whatever at that point. And I feel like that's like the bigger issue with a lot of this stuff. But it's interesting though, because like even when I was around people my age for the little 3 months that I got to be around them again, back in, I don't know, what was that, 2023 or something like that? I mean, I already knew then that like the things that I'm interested in, most people aren't even doing after 10, especially depending on where they live and how much money they have. Because I noticed that like in poor areas where people don't have TVs and phones and all that, or maybe like, I don't know, the whole family shares a phone or something, people go outside more, and going outside isn't considered childish and all that. But when you like, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but like when you're in an area where people have money for phones and game systems, and even where like there's nothing to really do outside, like a lot of places in Georgia especially, they don't even have sidewalks, so you can't really walk anywhere. There's not like woods and stuff, but it's like people are so detached from nature, and it's all just really messed up. So like I already know that, wait a minute, yeah, I already know that like a lot of people aren't interested in what I'm interested in anyways, which is funny because I typically always talk to people that are decades older than me, and I can find people that are decades older than me that are interested in the same things. But it's interesting. I don't know what else to say about that though. Actually, no, something I forgot. This is also really common. People who are in abuse situations where they didn't expect to live even till 12 or past 12, and then like as they get older and they're still alive, they just don't know what to do because they never planned on living that long, and it causes a lot of issues, and that's not talked about enough either. Like, and I guess I could say unalivement support groups and CPTSD groups. This is talked about sometimes, but not enough. Because this is really common. A lot of people live way longer than they expect to live, and it causes a lot of issues because they don't know what to do. They don't know how they're going to survive, at least in the Matrix sense. And yeah, there's that, but I feel like I'm forgetting something with that. Oh yeah, it just makes getting older even more scary for them because they're still alive and they don't want to be and they didn't expect to be. And they can't handle the situations that they're in or the bullcrap of the world. In fact, no, something else. Like, since leaving my previous situation, I've spent not a lot of time, but a good amount of time at the parks, like I always wanted to anyways, because I didn't get to do that in my previous situation. And of course, like most people older than 5, they're not like going to parks, but I like walking around certain ones, especially the ones that are more so like national parks. But I mean, I don't really know where something like that is where I'm at now in the South or the East Coast, really. Like, I know there's a lot like in the Midwest to West Coast. But anywho, also skate parks. I can't ride a skateboard. I don't have anywhere to put a skateboard or a bike. I can't ride a bike either. I used to be able to, but not since like the iatrogenic brain damage and chronic illness and stuff and metabolic issues. But it's like, I want to be able to ride a skateboard because like I know that there's like a lot of boys at the skate park sometimes, at least in certain places. And like I even wish that those couple months ago when I went back to the West Coast for a little while and I went to Venice Beach for the first time, I wish like at Venice Beach I would have had a skateboard and like I wouldn't have had like to carry around my sleeping bag and mat, and I could have just like sat that somewhere, which I probably still could if I had a skateboard. But I just wish like I would have been able to maybe talk to people more, but instead I was too worried about like trying to figure out how to sell art or something and make some money to get something to eat because the iatrogenic metabolic issues, and apparently I have like a pancreatic burnout and stuff because I was gaslit about it always pretty much since I got it iatrogenically from the Cash for Kids system abuse. So like I can't go a long time without eating, and I really can't, at least I couldn't digest food that well. But by this point in time I had already started treating myself, at least when it comes to the digestion part. But it's still like I was more focused on where I was gonna sleep at, or no, not that, not even really that. I was more focused on trying to get something to eat, and I didn't really get the time to talk to people because I was like sitting out there till after sundown trying to like get people to buy art to get food. And it's like, yeah, access to food is easier since being homeless and when I was with relatives and all that, but it's still like, I don't know, I just like wish I could like, I just feel like I'm running out of time pretty much. Like, I have to find someone to skateboard with me, or quote unquote play with me, which I don't even think sounds that good to be honest, but I have to find someone really quick before it's too late. And that's how I feel pretty much.